Hey everyone, and welcome to the closing section of the training videos. So this is basically going to be a step-by-step guide on how to close every single night. So first thing you should always do is, as soon as customers leave, lock the doors. If there's still customers in the store, I usually give them about like 10 minutes and then I will politely remind them that we are closing. But don't ever just like kick customers out right when we close if they are waiting in here. Usually once we start locking the doors, they will mosey on out on their own time. So how to lock the doors and unlock the doors. There is this little tab right here and it goes up and down whether or not it's locked. So you can't just turn this thing, you have to also push the door in and flip this down and then turn the lock, and this is fully locked. If you just turn this, the door is not fully locked, so you have to make sure to flip the tab. That door down there has the tab, and then that door doesn't. So just remember that to lock the tab. So when you put chairs up, you have to always make sure to wipe down all of the bar area, all of the tables, basically every surface that a customer was at before you put the chairs up, you have to wipe it. So for wiping down stuff, make sure to spray a decent amount, don't spray too little. And for these metal tables, they get really dirty on the sides, so a lot of the times we'll just wipe the top but not the sides. Make sure to get those sides when you're wiping these tables so they are not dirty and gross for the next customer. So basically, once you're done wiping down all the sides, it should look something like this. Nice clean table. And so yeah, wipe down all the tables, get all the side stuff off. Make sure to also wipe down all the benches. These benches get really gross. So make sure to wipe down all the tables and the benches and the bar area as well. Okay, after you get done wiping down everything and putting all the chairs up, the next thing you do is you take all the cheese that's in the cooler and you put it on this cart. And then also make sure you're turning off the pot and you are turning off the grills. And then taking the pot, and we have saran wrap that's in the back. Make sure to saran wrap it every single night and put it on the cart. And then this all goes in the freezer because this freezer is currently not working. So always make sure to put the cheese on the cart and saran wrap the soup and put it in the back for the end of the night. So after you put away all the cheese and the soup, we are going to clean around the grills, around this area, and we're gonna clean out the sink. The most important part about this is waiting until all the dishes are back. Do not wipe the counters while the dishes are still out. Everything needs to go in the back first, and this whole area needs to be free of dishes and stuff like that. So like if there's any containers like this, make sure they go back to dishes as well, so that this area is completely clean and ready for us to wipe. So usually what I will do is I'll take everything, put it on here so I have a clean surface. And then I take a paper towel and I make sure to wipe all the crumbs. You can either wipe them into the sink that we're gonna clean later, or you can wipe them onto the floor. We have someone who comes in and cleans our floors in the morning. So if you just wanna wipe it on the floor and call it good, I'm fine with that. All the crumbs need to get off of the counter. Do not leave any crumbs in this area. Do not leave any crumbs behind the grill. In this area, like make sure to be moving the grills. See all that grossness that really accumulates under there? Make sure to move it and wipe it down. We really gotta make sure to be really clean and really good about this. This is my biggest issue that I have with most closings, is that counters aren't wiped and stuff like this gets left and then it builds up and it gets really, really gross. So just make sure to be taking your paper towels, moving what you need to. You can lift up these cords. This. This corner. Get behind here. So yeah, just really make sure to get those parts clean. And then after you get all your crumbs off of the counter, we can take our rag start wiping. And once again, you can feel free to be very generous with your sprays. Sometimes when we only spray like twice, it doesn't really clean the counter, and you can still feel a really gross residue on it. So just make sure, really wipe down these counters. And also, get the backsplash as well. If there's any, spills of soup or anything like that, make sure to get those drops wiped and clean. And yeah, that is how you clean counters. Over here, make sure to get these sides, really wipe down this whole space and make sure there are no crumbs anywhere. Also, make sure to clean these out. They can get pretty disgusting. So throw away all the excess bits in here. Then usually what I will do is I'll come take it over to the sink and let the water wash over it like that. And get all those extra crumbs out. And after I get it really good, really washed out, then you can take some paper towels, wipe down everything. Get that inside really good. Yeah. So you should have, after you clean it out, clean looking thing, and then put it back in. Next, we're gonna clean out the sink. So if there's no soap up here, it's fine. All we need to do is get the crumbs out. Never ever leave any crumbs or spills in the sink overnight. They dry on and they get really hard to clean in the morning. So always just make sure to use your sponge scraper thingy and really wipe down the sides. Get in there. And then usually what I'll do is I will let it fill up and then squeeze it to get that water running down the sides. Yeah, so basically all you gotta do is just scrub this out. Make sure it's really nice and clean in there. And then after you use your scraper, take some paper towels and wipe any extra crumbs that got left over. If it's really dirty and there's a lot of crumbs in there, I usually take a paper towel and wipe it first and get the big crumbs out, and then I will use the scraper thingy. So yeah, after you do that and wipe it out with the paper towels, you'll have a nice clean look like that. And this is how the sink and the counter should look every single night. And then the last part of closing the grilled cheese area is we're gonna wipe down this cooler. Cooler does get neglected a lot of the time, but it's very important that we are making sure to wipe it down every single night. So what I will do is I will take a paper towel and wipe off all the crumbs from the top of it. Get this side, wipe off all the crumbs. And then afterwards, I will take my spray. And a little goes a long way on the cooler. For the counters, you can use a lot more, but you don't need a lot for the top of the coolers and for the sides of it. So, we'll wipe it down. Really make sure the soup gets on these a lot, especially on the sides. So, make sure to spray down the sides too and get this area right here. You might have to really scrub to get those soup pieces off. That top. And then also, after we're done wiping the top section, make sure that we are getting these sides as well. Don't only do the top, get the sides of it as well. Yeah. So basically, just wipe this down and then make sure it looks clean before you leave. All right, now we are moved over to the gelato side. So make sure that every night all of these counters get wiped down, and especially the tile. As you can see, there's a lot of just stains and grossness from all the gelato. that gets scooped over the day. So we've already wiped down these counters, and what we're gonna do is we will spray down this tile wall, and wipe it down. Make sure to move these out of the way. Get underneath them where they were sitting. Make sure to get this little top section as well. As you can see, see this got left on and is stuck on there, so we will have to go back and scrape that. But if we do this every single night, then it doesn't harden like that, and it's not super hard to get the gelato off. So always make sure every single night to wipe down these backsplashes and the counters as well. It's super important that we are wiping down every single thing and making sure everything is super clean. That is my biggest thing that I want with closings, is I want everything to be wiped down at the end of the night so that it's ready for the next day and ready for the openers. So as you can see, sometimes when we're scooping, our gloves can get a little messy, and then they get onto the samples and they get onto the cups. So every single night, I'd like these to get replaced. If there's some gross ones, you can just throw them away. But if they're clean, like these ones are clean, you can just reuse them and pour them into the new cup. And then these sample spoons in the big container will be the ones that we use to serve the gelato with, and then these are the sample ones. So always make sure to refill these every single night. Also, be making sure this section can get really gross with all the gelato. And so just make sure, usually what I will do is I will do a couple sprays into the rag and then just take it and wipe it down. What you're probably gonna wanna do when you're getting this bottom section is make sure the handle's pulled down so that when you are cleaning the handle, you're not spraying all over the floor. So yeah, really make sure to get all those gelato spots. Get the handle, get the sprayer nozzle, really get the sink clean. And you'll basically do the same thing on the other side that you're gonna do that over here, and then use the scraper to scrape around this. And what's nice about this side is it has a sprayer nozzle, so you can just spray it down after you've scraped everything. So this side is actually a little easier to clean for the sinks. And yeah, so basically, once you're done wiping, getting all of those spots off, should look pretty clean, like that. All right, next we are gonna do the cooler. So a lot of the times when this gets cleaned, only this top part gets wiped and not this section and this section. So when you're cleaning the cooler, always make sure to spray the top and this metal side, and don't just wipe down this. So I usually start and just do a little light spray like that. Got to be very careful when you're spraying over here. We don't ever want to get the bleach spray into the gelatos. That ruins them, and it's really gross and unsanitary and nasty. So wipe this section down. And then after that, what I will do is, after I'm done wiping that, shut it closed. And then I'll spray this section. Wipe this down. Sometimes you have to go over it twice, but usually just wipe it down like this. And then that's done. And then we'll also spray the rag and wipe down the top and this section as well, so it's completely clean. So make sure to get every section, the top, this, and this clean every single night. Also, every single night we have to take the garbages out. All these garbages have already been taken out, but there's a garbage in here, there's a garbage in here, there's a garbage over here, make sure to take out this one on the side. There's only one garbage in these cabinets, this one. Make sure to take that one out. There's also one over there. And make sure to get the bathrooms every night as well. We have that garbage, and then there's a little mini garbage for everything else. So Those are all the garbage that need to be taken out every single night for closing. So every night it is very important that we are texting and updating Russ exactly what we have. Where we're reaching our busy season, we got to make sure to text him and that it's accurate. So the passcode for this phone is 00000, and then you go into the messages app, and this is Russ's little section. Every night we update him on how much bread is up front in this little cabinet, and then how much soup is left over and how much we have in the freezer. So right now it looks like we only have one loaf down here, and then all right, this is where we keep the soup. So always make sure every night to open the bucket and check how much soup is actually in there. A lot of the times people see just a bucket and assume it's full. So it looks like we have about half a bucket of soup left, and then a full pot. And then, if you follow me, this is our bread freezer. It's where we keep all of our extra bread. If we ever have Albertsons bread in here, please use it first. That bread tends to mold easier than Russ bread, so we are trying to use that bread if we do have it first. So yeah, basically count everything that's in the freezer and just make sure to send Russ a full text that's accurate and has everything that we have in the store. This is the dishwashing section. All of the rules for washing dishes are right here. It has how you fill up the bleach water and then how dishes should be sprayed. And so if you ever have any questions, refer to that. And then we usually set the dishes like this. And you can also use this section over here to set them out to dry. And yeah, that is washing dishes. Sure, at the end of the night, we will get a lot of fingerprints on these. So I will usually just take the rag and then wipe it down really quick. Just make sure to get all the fingerprints and smudges off.
Go.
For turning on and turning off opening signs, never unplug anything on here. Never unplug it. It's never meant to be unplugged. Don't unplug it. We have these little flips that you just flip them on and off, and that is how you turn on and off the opening signs. The switch to turn off the grilled cheese light, the switch to turn off the cheese case light is right here. So all you gotta do is flip that off and then it turns off. Also make sure to wipe this down. It gets kind of gross with how much we open and close it. So just make sure to wipe this down at the end of the night. Pull it out, get the tops of it, get the handle, and yeah, get this nice and clean. Okay, we just finished stocking curd. It's really hard in the mornings to get it stocked because usually there's only one person. So if it's like 7 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night and the store isn't too busy, please send someone back to stock curd and make sure that this is fully stocked for the next day. All right, if the counters look like this at night, make sure you're taking some time to wipe all the crumbs off of the counters and really make sure this back area is clean. This isn't our space, so we need to be really respectful and making sure that if we make a mess back here, we clean it up right away. We are not leaving any gross crumbs for the people who work back here. This is where the light switches are for the front, so make sure those are turned off every night. And all right, so every Saturday we have to put lids on the gelatos and we have to take them back here and put them in this deep freezer. So what I recommend doing is grabbing the black cart, and then once you put all the lids on the gelatos, you can wheel them back and then just put them in here. That only has to happen on Saturdays. We just like to defrost the cooler so we can clean it out. So yeah, make sure to put lids on the gelatos every Saturday night and take them back into this deep freezer. All right, if you're seeing this video, you've watched both the opening and closing training videos. Thank you for watching the whole thing. I know a lot of it seems kind of self-explanatory, but I just wanted everyone to have a visual guide of what I expect from you and how I expect the closings and openings to be going forward. If you are seeing this right now, please text me your favorite color. That way I'll know if you watched the full videos. And also make sure to take the quiz that I'll be posting as well. Yeah, awesome. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day.